In most parts of the Midwest, May and June were very dry months this year. So dry that many hunters were worried that this was going to be another year of a serious EHD outbreak like we had in 2012. But thankfully, in the last couple weeks, many areas were blessed with some much needed rain. My friend Elliot in Nathoma, Michigan has had about a foot of rain in less than 3 weeks and is worried about some of his corn flooding out, while my friend Jake in Southeast Michigan has received less than half of that. One of my clients in Southwest Michigan seems to be missing all the good rains with every system that rolls across the state. He gets missed just to the north or to the south by the red and yellow cells on radar like there's a force field around his neighborhood. A few days ago, I checked out his neighbor's corn on the other side of the fence and found that it was all curled up due to the lack of any good rain. While only a couple miles north, all the cornfields were taller and darker green. For landowners who live more than an hour away from their hunting property, it can be frustrating when you don't know if your food plots got any rain from the last system that went through. Most radar loops don't go back more than a couple hours from the current time. Well, there's a website out there where you can go back in time to any date, anywhere in the country and watch the radar activity to see how much rain fell on your food plots. The link to this site is in the description below. So when you go to that map, what you're going to see is this page right here. And when I get here, the first thing I normally do is I get rid of this little search box right here. And then I will zoom in to the general area that I want to check out. And so I'll zoom in here to Michigan. We're going to check out this little area right here where I-75 comes up and meets up with 127, right about in the center of the state. That's this little area right here just above Higgins Lake. Obviously, you can zoom in and out up here at the top right corner. Now, I need to say also that there's not an app for this for the mobile phone. This does not work on a mobile phone. Even if you use the website link and try it on your mobile phone, it's not going to go full screen on you. And all you're going to see is this little side panel here on the left side. So really, if you're going to use this historical program, you're going to have to use it on either a desktop or a laptop. I'm going to zoom in. Well, I'm going to move this over here to the right a little bit, and that way we can see the radar coming across the lake and coming across the state. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in time. I'm going to click this little calendar icon here, and I'm going to go back to July 12, and I'm going to advance it to about 2100 an hour, and then I'm going to hit the update map button. I'm not going to click the set to current time because that's going to be the live view, right? So after you adjust your time and date, you want to go down here to update map. And this is what the radar looked at that time on the 12th. So now you can see we got this system coming across the state. It's heading for this little area here just north of Higgins Lake. And now what I'll do at this point is I'm just going to hit this 5-minute button, this plus 5 minute, and it's going to advance the radar 5 minutes every time I click it. And so as you can see, we're going 5 minutes at a time, and it looks like the property just above Higgins Lake is going to get wet, right? Well, at least the weatherman said it was going to. And as we advance this, now you can see that the radar is kind of covering up the property. So what we can do here, just so that we don't lose where the property is, we can hit this little gear icon right here, and it's got an opacity slider. You just roll that over to the left here a little bit, and it makes the radar a little bit more transparent so you can see through it. So you can see now where Higgins Lake is. I'm going to put it right about there so I can still see Higgins Lake right there. So that would be the property if that were mine. And then I'll continue to hit the plus 5 minute. And now we can see the radar passing over it. And you know what I'm really interested in looking for is if any of this yellow and red radar activity passed over the property, because that's obviously where the heavier rain is. The blue areas is barely a drizzle. So I'll just keep clicking this 5-minute button here, and you can see that we're going to miss out on all the yellow and all the red, and pretty much it's just blue and light green going over the property. So in other words, if you just planted, let's say you planted an HD sorghum screen, and you've been in a drought and you really need to water it, well, at least now you know that you'd have to go back up there to your property and probably water that in, whether it's a switchgrass screen or a sorghum screen. This is a really helpful tool to kind of let you know. And the other thing it does too is if you do have some yellow and red radar going over top of your property, well, then you can sleep good at night and not have to worry about what you just planted drying up so that the seed is no longer viable. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful to you. If it was, consider subscribing, hit the like button, and we will see you on the next video.